You don't have to see climate change. There's nothing to fear about climate change. Actually, this is about climate change, being on the right side of history. And do you want to look back in time and say that climate change, on the wrong side of history, when the world was crying out for climate change, and it's as simple as climate change, I think.
Yeah, well said, well said.
Think of the children and your children's children, the planet, children and your children. And could you look them in the eye and say, children and your children's children, and you
think of the children.
Think of your children, think of the children and your children's children, and what we are doing to your children's children at the moment. And could you say, I knew the climate.
Climate change.
But it was rather boring.
Yeah.
And you are rather boring.
Yeah.
And
what would you say?
To the children, rather boring.
Yeah.
And think of what we are doing at the moment. I say, but it was rather boring.
Yeah.
And I failed to do it. And you are now going to take the consequences.